We Have to Survive, Part 2 by Kopok. The night air hung thick with tension, the distant sounds of sirens barely cutting through the muffled bass of a nearby party. Streetlights flickered, casting long shadows on cracked pavement where dreams had been buried under layers of asphalt and regret. In the heart of the hood, where the monster soldiers ruled the block, among the faded graffiti and crumbling buildings, the scent of gunpowder lingered like a ghost of past violence. "Yo, D, you feel that?" Jay leaned against a lamppost, his eyes scanning the street, always on high alert. He could feel the blood slowly dripping from the hole in his waist. D, his dark hoodie pulled low over his brow, let out a low laugh, a sound edged with something darker. Feel what? The weight of the world? Or that second crew that showed up answers to Rango? Why do you think he would order someone to kill his own soldiers? We did everything he ever asked without question. It doesn't even matter anymore. I'ma live long enough for him to feel the weight of this 9mm, Jay replied, tapping the side of his waistband. The small movement was a reminder of the danger that surrounded them. Suddenly, the sound of laughter, sharp, wild, almost manic, cut through the air. They turned to see a group of girls stumbling out of a house, the smell of cheap liquor wafting over. "Hey, you two," one of them called, her voice high and laced with mischief. "You want a party?" "Not tonight," D shot back, but his gaze lingered. They were a distraction, a reminder of life beyond the chaos. "Suit yourself," she laughed again, the sound echoing down the street as they disappeared around the corner. Damn. Jay shook his head. We should have gone with them. At least we'd be having fun instead of waiting for some bullshit to go down. "Fun ain't what we do, Jay. You know that," D replied, his voice low. "We're trying to get out of here, remember? That means getting to that damn train station without dying. We don't know those bitches. There we are in the middle of getting topped off and they end up calling Rango. Think about it." The tension coiled tighter as the minutes ticked by. Just then, a car screeched to a halt in front of them, tires squealing like a banshee. "Get in!" shouted a voice from the driver's seat. It was Big Mike, a man whose reputation preceded him, a savage, ruthless. "Rango tried to kill you too?" D demanded as he climbed in, Jay right behind him. "He's cleaning house, bruh," Big Mike grunted, his expression grim. "Word on the street is, even our families are being watched." "Watched?" Jay echoed, his voice rising. "By who?" "Doesn't matter, we need to move. Now!" The car peeled away, the engine roaring like a beast unleashed. D felt his heart race, the adrenaline pumping through his veins. They were in deep, deeper than they'd ever planned. "Pull over, man. Let's figure this out," D urged, but Big Mike's grip tightened on the wheel. "Figure what out? They want us dead, and we're gonna give them a reason to think twice." "Yeah? And what's that?" Big Mike smirked, a dark glint in his eyes. "We're gonna hit back first." "Hit back? Just like that?" Jay's skepticism hung in the air, thick enough to cut. "Just like that. You in or you out?" D exchanged glances with Jay. They both knew the stakes. They could either stand up or get stomped on. Their plans to leave would have to be put on hold. "I'm in," D said, his voice steady. "Let's do this." "Hell yeah," Jay chimed in, a fire igniting in his eyes, but still winced at the pain he was enduring. As they sped through the streets, the city sprawled around them, a living entity with shadows that whispered secrets only the night could know. They pulled up to an abandoned warehouse, its broken windows glimmering like missing teeth in a rotten smile. "Here's the plan," Big Mike said, his voice low as they gathered in the dim light. "We split into teams. D, you and Jay take the back. I'll head in through the front with Tony. He's already in position. We hit hard, hit fast." D nodded, adrenaline coursing through him. "Got it." "Let's make it quick. No prisoners," Big Mike commanded, and with a shared look, D and Jay slipped into the darkness, hearts pounding like war drums. The air was heavy as they crept through the rear entrance, the floor creaking underfoot. They moved silently, shadows amongst shadows, the smell of rust and decay wrapping around them like a shroud. "Damn, this place gives me the creeps," Jay whispered, his voice barely above a murmur. "Stay focused," Dee hissed, scanning the room. "We're not here for a ghost story." Suddenly, a shout echoed from the front. "Get down!" Big Mike roared. Gunfire erupted, the sound deafening, like thunder cracking in the sky. Dee instinctively dropped, but not before he caught a glimpse of chaos. Bullets ripped through the air, ricocheting off metal and concrete. "Let's move!" Dee yelled, and they dove into the fray, adrenaline fueling their every movement. Jay fired back, the gun in his hand trembling with the intensity of the moment. "Where are they?" he shouted over the cacophony. "Over there!" Dee pointed, his instinct sharp. They ducked behind a stack of crates, heartbeats racing like a runaway train. "Cover me!" Jay shouted, and Dee nodded, firing off a few rounds, the bullets thudding into the wall where their enemies hid. "Got you!" Jay charged forward, dodging between crates, pushing the adrenaline to its limits. The chaos swirled around them, the sounds of gunfire blending with shouts and screams. They were in the thick of it now, no turning back. "Watch your six!" Dee yelled, but it was too late. A figure emerged from the shadows, a gun raised, eyes wild. "Jay!" Dee screamed, but the warning came too late. The shot rang out, a sickening pop that cut through the chaos like a knife. Jay fell, a gasp escaping his lips as he hit the ground. "Jay!" Dee felt the world slow, the chaos fading into a dull roar as he rushed to his friend's side. Blood pooled beneath Jay, his face pale, eyes wide with shock. "Stay with me, man!" Dee shouted, panic clawing at his throat. "Damn, Dee, I'm not—" Jay gasped, his breath shallow. "Don't you dare say that!" Dee pressed a hand against the wound, trying to stem the flow of blood. "We're getting out of here. Just hold on." "Leave. I'm done," Jay wheezed, and Dee felt the weight of those words settle on him like a heavy shroud. "No, we're getting out of here together." Dee's voice cracked, the desperation spilling over. But in that moment, the gunfire intensified, and Dee knew they were outnumbered. "Get down!" Big Mike shouted from somewhere in the chaos. "Fall back!" Dee's heartbeat thundered in his ears, the world spinning around him as he held Jay, his friend slipping away. "Finish it," Jay whispered, his voice barely a breath. "Finish what we started." "No, I'm not leaving you." "Do it!" Jay's eyes darkened, the light fading. "For me." With a final shudder, Jay's breath stilled. Dee's heart shattered, the pain tearing through him like a bullet. "Jay." The sound of chaos faded as rage ignited within him, a fire that burned hotter than anything he'd ever felt. He stood, fueled by grief and fury, and stepped into the open. He lifted his gun, eyes scanning the darkness, searching for the enemy that had taken everything from him. "Let's finish this," he growled, voice low and lethal. The gunfire erupted again, but this time, Dee moved with purpose. Each shot was a declaration, each pull of the trigger a tribute to his fallen friend. He fought with everything he had, a force of nature unleashed, the darkness of the hood wrapping around him like a cloak. And when the last shot rang out, a silence fell, heavy and suffocating. Dee stood alone in the aftermath, the weight of his choices crashing down like a tidal wave. The bodies lay scattered, the echoes of laughter and betrayal lingering in the air like a ghost. He turned, the reality of loss deep in his bones, betrayed by his own, left for dead. But he wasn't dead, not yet. The flames of vengeance burned bright in his chest. "Jay," he whispered, "a promise to the void. I'll make them pay." He stepped over the bodies, a warrior forged in grief, ready to take back the life that had been stolen from him. The streets were dark, but he would illuminate them with his wrath. This was just the beginning. Rango was going to pay.